So um, when you're done with everything, like for every implementation, for every feature you do, like our goal was to connect to the database. You needed to push to GitHub. Yeah. So it's quite straightforward. Come over here, you see the number of changes that has been made. See all these plus here. Come to these changes. You see stage all changes. Click on stage all changes. So after doing that, type a message, implemented the connection to database, then come here, commit and push. You're done for that. We continue with the next page, which is creating the models for. So there are two things. We have to create a tax application, right? So two things are involved. First is the tax. Second is the user of the one that will be creating the tax, right? First of all, you need to create the user model. So we go to the model folder and create user.js, right? Yeah, is the user.js, right? Okay. So after doing that, next up is create the mongoose for the schema equal to require mongoose. Then secondly is the schema which is interpreter equal to mongoose dot schema, right? Cons user schema equal to new schema open bracket. First it takes the properties, all the properties of the user email, right? Key value pair, then give it it's of type what? Give it a type of string, right? Then the other thing definitely is required. You want to make it required, right? Set it to true. Then it has to be unique as well. So some other person does not use your same email. Unique. Set it to true. What other property again? We have the password. Password type what? Type is of string. What else again? Required true. Okay. What else again? I think that's just that. Was there any other thing again? Aside that one, is there any other thing again? Email, password, that's all now. It's like username, but you don't need username, just the email and password is fine, right? then timestamp. We need its time stamp when it was created. Okay, let's put that in a timestamp. We need this timestamp through. Okay. Set it up to the schema. So after creating this now, it's the same way with the method function. We have to export it for other codes to use. So do dot export equal to dot model data, right? That's schema. So I've set up the user model, right? So next is to set up the tags. So let me just copy this. So I don't stress myself rewriting it. Tags.js. Right, I'll do some changes. Okay, rename this to tags schema, right? Tags. Okay, so what are the properties? If you check the capstone, we have the title description, deadline, which is due date, priority. Okay, right, priority rather. Okay. Okay. So let's do that now. The light was shaking over. One will be title, type string, require true. We can have the same title, so it doesn't need to be unique, right? Next one will be description, type string. Do we need is this very important or not that important? The description can be no, you can decide to put descriptions or not, right? I think what I'll do is something. Let me check. Excuse me. Okay, that's what I should do. I'll be using this as an example. So when I want to add the tags, it's very important. I can't click this because it's forcing me to add the tags. So it's in. So once you do that, I think this description is optional. You can decide to and you can decide not to. We have a due date. Those who might decide to design this, yeah, can actually design this. Can design this. So it's in description, which can be optional. All about eating food, right? Set due date. Just say it's in priority to reminders. Reminder is not important. Shall just say the reminder. That's just that. Let me set it to 29 instead. Okay. Once you do that, gets added. Decide to add another tax. It does the same thing. Right? Okay, so you can decide to edit this tax. All these routines, I don't need it. Archive, inspiration archive. So this is what we need, right? For every tax, is it. Do okay. Just what they require, or just add. You can update. You can edit. Right? You can edit. You can set due date, comment, or those are extra features, but edit, delete, you can actually delete. Right, okay, update, right, great. Right, so that's what we want to do. So for our backend, right, description is optional, then due date as well. Type, type will be what? Date. Type will be date as well. What else again? Priority. 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 Type will be string. Right. What else again? Enum. So the enum now is more like, okay, when we are dealing with gender, it's male and female, right? So with enum, I don't want to allow the user to impute something outside male and female. So in order to treat those use cases, we use enums to condition the user, to limit the user to the options that are inside these enums, right? Okay. So for my enums, you can have low, medium, high. Okay. So with this, the user cannot, when filling the priority, cannot just put something that is outside these enums. It has to be between these three of them. So enum does that. Priority now is very important, so we need to make it required. else again? I think that's just it. Then every task that is created has a relationship with the user. A task cannot be created without the user, right? So the user has to be the one to create it. So a task has a relationship with the user, right? So user, user. So how do you represent that? It's a type, and the user is an object. So it's not a string, it's not a number, it's an object. So how do you represent objects? Dot schema dot types dot uh, object ID, then reference. What are you referencing? You're referencing the user object, and this required is what required. Make it true. It has to be linked to the user, right? Cool. Then we have the time span. Everything is set. So module.export tax. Okay. All right. So next is, so our models is set now. Our models is set and good to go. Next is to set up the controller, right? To set up the controller, we're going to set up the controller. So for the controller, I'll just basically use this user. We have user now, right? User controller. User controller JS. So this is the user controller.js. Then I'd also create for the tax controller. As I would do it, tax controller.js. That's for the controller that will handle the request and response, right? Then for the route, it's going to be what? User dot, okay, user route, routs.js, right? Then same thing, tax routes.js, tax routes.js. So we are good to go. So we have our routes and we have our models and we have our controllers. So the next episode would look into the we'll look into the user controller. That would involve the authentication, right? It would involve authentication and the like, authentication, change password, and might not do implement password, but authentication, create sign up, yeah, which has to do with signing up. Yes. All right. Then we'd have to set up our middleware and all those stuff. So next episode beyond that. So I've done this now. I have to push. So I can just say setting up the models for user and tax. All right. Commit. So you add or stage all this thing, then commit and push. All right. So that's just it. Basically that. So, right. Thank you and see you